Hey y'all, how are y'all? So I'm back as you can get well. Almost this would you believe this day last week we all came back from Waterford. Safe and sound, thanks be to God. So I'm here today. Well, first I'm going to be doing my video in two parts. This part which shouldn't be more than 2 or 3 minutes depending, and then on excuse me, 2 or 3 minutes on a little story was so called. And the next video will be, or next part, or your next video will be actually Give a Little Love by Daniel O'Donnell, or as I like to call him, Danny Boy. Now, last night being Monday the 27th of April, I suffered a little, I don't know if I would call it mental health, but the fact I was almost, didn't do it, thanks be to God, almost going to cut myself, because last night I suffered a really bad nightmare. Get away. Go. Just fly. Buckets of them everywhere. God. But anyway, no, the dream consists, or the nightmare more so, consists of me, whereby I'm in my family's home, with my mum, dad, and my sister, the one you all know very well, on my Facebook at least, and my sister, of course, and myself. Mysteriously, in the dream, I was in the front room playing with probably Ducky, or I remember holding something in my hand. I just can't quite recall exactly, but it's the most vivid dream I've ever had in my life. And I'm 30 years now, 31 in July. And then I don't know where my sister was considering, we're quite inseparable, which is very weird I find. But anyway, she wasn't there, and neither were my folks, my mum or dad here. So then afterwards, somehow this gentleman, who I thought was a policeman, somehow throughout the whole dream I thought I was being arrested. So I said, okay. Not that I'm a guy who gets arrested a lot, but anyway, that's a different ball game. So when, excuse me. So then, apparently, he took me away to some place I thought was a police cell. You know, I don't know what they call it in the States, but in America, we have a police cell where they hold whatever they call perpetrators, whatever you call them, who does time before they go to court, or I don't know the justice system in any country. I have no interest in any either. It shouldn't be going off on me. Thank you. Sorry about that, lads and guys. But anyways, then afterwards, then I was taken away, and then I was put into a room upstairs, and there was a small girl. Now so I must have been very young if I can remember. If I myself was quite young, I don't remember me in the dream being an owl lad. Supposed to be an owl lad, but anyway. So I probably would have been around 7, maybe 6, a toddler kind of thing where you can't speak English, at the very least, or Romanian, sorry, in my case, but at the very least where you can understand what a person is saying to you. So for me, this girl was on her own, obviously. She had her own little bed, and I had my own little bed. So I said to myself, nah, this cannot be a police cell, because no little girls, let alone boys, would be put in there. So as it happens, it was actually an orphanage. So there you go. So whether it happened to me in real life, I don't know. But then afterwards, then the matron, or in Irish we call her a matron, who is the head nurse of an orphanage. Unfortunately, there's orphanages I think in every country, my sister told me, but there's an orphanage in Ireland, but she had her what am I saying now? Oh yeah, the matron, sorry, yes, the matron. Now, I was put into this place, and the matron asked the little girl. Now, the little girl was a bit happy, kind of unusual, but anyway, she was happy anyway, so, she was grand. I had no issues with her, because she's considering I was a very quiet boy anyway all the time. But anyway, so then the matron asks her, I think it was in English anyway, I remember that bit, if she needed anything or something like that. She's a very tall person. I'll never get her out of my sight, that's a fact. So then I remember holding a piece of paper, and I saw Google. kind of weird, but anyway, I saw Google, and it was a piece of paper. It wasn't a computer or laptop or anything like that. I don't think they knew what the word meant, but anyway. And I remember tapping on the word enter. I said, just tapping it like with my fingers, you know, these things. And I just remember tapping on or pressing on a piece of paper. Obviously nothing can happen because it's just a piece of paper. So then after that, what happened then was I literally broke down in tears when I saw, would you believe it, my inflatables. You can see some of them there. There they are. Look at them. Hanging around. Playing with themselves. And I don't know what Patchy's doing. Don't even ask. But anyway, I broke down eyes because I saw them in a picture on the paper. So I said, this is not normal. So I then attempted, now in the dream now, not in real life or when I'm conscious, it's like I am now. Get away. Just apply again. So then I attempted to attempt suicide. Well, not this, most serious, just cutting wise. With my fingernails, these things. Not that they're long enough, but anyway, still. I attempted it last night. Well, in the dream again. I have to specify the word dreams. Or nightmare more like. And then when I woke up in a phase. And obviously I was naked in bed, considering it's kind of warm in Ireland at the moment. But I had a duvet over. Because at night time it gets very nippy. Well, I'm not, this is not a sex video, so I'm not going to say why I sleep naked. It doesn't matter. My point is, it's very warm last night, and I just said, I'll just see what happens, see if anything weird happens, which as it happens, my dream was the weird one. So then when I woke up, I literally broke up, Jesus. I really, literally broke out crying again when I was conscious. It was the same crying I had when my uncle Reggie went, which is, we're in April now, so it's 2 years ago, March, just gone. So he went on the 16th of March 2013. It was that kind of crying as if somebody had died. Now, I don't know what that actually means, if somebody over in Romania died, or the fact that I reacted in such a way. But I tell you this much, guys, it's not one you'd want to have such repetition. Like, it could have been this matron or whatever they want to call themselves actually existed or whatever. So I think I might leave it at that. So if you see me blubbering, that's the word, it's blubbering, but we were still in that minute. But I'm going to go on to my next video now in a few minutes, and it's called Give a Little Love, as I said at the beginning of this video, by Daniel O'Donnell. Alright, so I get to here. So basically the video is about Daniel O'Donnell himself. Now before he got married to Magella O'Donnell, I don't know what her previous name was, but her name was Magella anyway. And before he got married to her, he was known as a crooner. Now what that basically means in English is he's a heartthrob for the old ladies. If that makes any sense to you. That's basically putting. My parents love him, and they still love him, regardless of whether he's married or not. And basically, he went over into Romania to help with the funding costs and to build houses. At the time of, what you call that guy, in '84 he's killed, Ceausescu's regime. So at the time, he was doing all the help, and my auntie, I think, met him. I myself met him at an Irish course several years ago, and I still have a picture. Geez, great time in Georgie Boy. Wouldn't show the last season girls the actual photo, and I don't know what the photo is in question. But anyway, so the basic song is about Give a Little Love, as you can gather from the title, in the orphanage my sister and myself were at, Negru Voda. Now, as it happened in the video on a TV documentary a few years ago, we were shown this documentary. Well, I personally wanted to see it and just see what the issue was, and it was literally debilitating. I think that's a nicer word than anything else can be said. It's really heartbreaking to watch all the people, all the poor kids being disabled, and all the disability continue in the world, and all that sort of thing. So now it's almost 10 minutes, my god. And I'm gonna finish on this, and I'll start the song now in a moment. So hang around there, cats and babies, alright?